Colorado's buffer zone law, keeping anti-abortion protesters off of clinic doorsteps, is not a new law, but it faces a new legal challenge on free speech grounds from some anti-abortion activists who hope to get it to a newly conservative Supreme Court. Let's bring in our Angeline McCall on this. And Angeline, we have talked about how Colorado has become a safe haven for abortion rights after the fall of Roe nationally. This challenge on the old buffer law, it seems like is one that people were not expecting.
Yeah, it's certainly something that advocates weren't expecting, considered that they thought it had been settled long ago. Now, this woman filed a lawsuit calling herself a sidewalk counselor. She claims so-called bubble laws in Colorado, as they're called, basically mean that in Colorado and municipalities like Denver and Inglewood, that they violate her free speech rights. The law, which has been on the books in Colorado since 1993, limits protests within 100 feet of a healthcare facility. Protesters aren't supposed to get within 8 feet of a patient inside that zone. Colorado's law has already been challenged and upheld in the U.S. Supreme Court 23 years ago. But this woman, Wendy Faustine, says that decision violates her right to, quote, counsel women in the hopes of changing their minds in the minutes before getting an abortion. Advocates say the bubble zone was created not only to stop harassment, but because people were endangering patients when it was created back in the 90s.
And that's their own business. It's nobody else's business. But on top of those personal decisions, they're having to deal with a cacophony of people screaming at them or perhaps trying to cajole them into changing their mind regarding a decision they have a perfect right to make. So it is harassment.
The woman filing this lawsuit also filed a different lawsuit back in 2000, saying that she wanted to set up an anti-abortion banner off of a local overpass. Kyle?
It absolutely does feel like, because it is, a throwback to like a previous generation's fight over abortion rights, the idea of public protests and these confrontations in front of clinics. It's issues that for, at least the last 10, 20, 30 years in Colorado, we haven't had to talk about very much.
Right, but then when you think about Roe v. Wade being overturned, that's something that Danny from Cobalt mentioned, is that she was saying they've seen an increase, for instance, in legal attempts to try and essentially limit access to reproductive health. And so this is just another one of those attempts. Yeah,
you certainly understand that folks who are opposed to abortion want to test the limits of the new lay of the land with the Supreme Court. All right, Angeline McCall, thank you very much.